Alright, what's up guys? We are back with some more Monolith Soft and the Legend of Zelda news because Monolith Soft is hiring for the Legend of Zelda series development staff. So for those who don't know, Monolith Soft has helped out with previous Zelda games like The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on the Wii and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. And things don't seem to be changing anytime soon with that when it comes to the next Legend of Zelda game. So Monolith Soft is hiring development staff to work on the Legend of Zelda series the company has officially announced. The developer posted a recruitment page today seeking technical artists, programmers, planners, designers, and a project manager. Monolith Soft assisted with the development of the area and the locations and level design of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which launched for the Nintendo Switch and the Wii U back in March 3rd, 2017. And like I did state, they did help out with The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword as well with some of the art too. And one of the big things with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that Monolith Soft helped out with was because it was an open world game, all of the geography and kind of the stuff that you have to do in that style of game. Monolith Soft is somewhat of an expert in that area over the Zelda team because they had already done games like Xenoblade Chronicles back on the Wii, which was a huge open-ended type of game with all sorts of rolling hills and different types of locations and mountains and ranges, and their expertise in that type of game was definitely needed for a game like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that went completely open world. In addition to that, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles X, which just had this huge sprawling open world, so their expertise in that as well also helped out. And I think that this is for the next Legend of Zelda game. We do know that Mr. Anuma-san did say that they are probably going to go in the same vein or the same way of Breath of the Wild, but I think what's going to make this next Zelda game truly special is that it's going to be built specifically for the Nintendo Switch. So therefore, I think they're going to have better performance. I think the game is going to look better, and I think they're going to be able to take more time to use the unique feature set of the Nintendo Switch instead of having to gut out some of the stuff from the Wii U and add in stuff. So for example, there was not even really any HD rumble in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. With all the different types of weapons and everything that you can do in that game, with all the different magnesis and all this stuff with the Sheikah Slate, HD rumble would have been absolutely phenomenal if they had time to implement it. I think with this next Legend of Zelda game, whatever they decide to use, they're going to be able to have plenty of time to implement proper HD rumble support, and I think that's going to be really cool considering the type of open-ended game Zelda has become, and I think that they're going to go into. Now remember guys, this is also speculation more when I talk about that, but once again, Anuma-san did say that they're probably going to go in the same way of Breath of the Wild when it comes to the follow-up, and we do know that they're working on the next Legend of Zelda game. I don't think that's really any type of secret or anything like that, and this is pretty much more of a confirmation of that. But you also have to remember that this, in terms of Monolith Soft, they're not the main developers of The Legend of Zelda, and they're not going to be developing their own Legend of Zelda game. Some people kind of are going crazy on Twitter saying that, oh, well now Monolith Soft is developing the Zelda game. Now it's their game to develop, and that's going to be their next game, and the art that we saw, that was for the Legend of Zelda game or something like that, which, no, that's not the case. You have to remember too that Monolith Soft is becoming a very big game studio. They already have 2 offices, and one of them already helps out with other projects with Nintendo, and then the other studio, the main one, actually works on like the Xenoblade games and all that stuff like that. Now the main team with Takahashi-san, they're definitely working on the next Xenoblade, or they're working on the next huge game that Monolith Soft is going to do, and then the other team is going to be helping out with other stuff. Here's what I'm excited about when it comes to Monolith Soft and this title with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I just know that Monolith Soft is really going to help them take that next step when it comes to developing Switch only, right? Switch only, not having to worry about Wii U, but Switch only, and a huge open-ended game in terms of diversifying the levels, diversifying what you can do in the open world. Monolith Soft has always been absolutely phenomenal at that, and I don't think anything's going to change here when it comes to them recruiting all these different types of people, technical artists, programmers, planners, designers, project managers. This is absolutely amazing that Monolith Soft is doing so well, and then of course Nintendo is doing so well that they can bring these new people into Monolith Soft and create the latest and best games, because as many of you guys know, my favorite development studios at Nintendo are Monolith Soft and Intelligent Systems. But of course, we haven't gotten Fire Emblem Three Houses yet. It's coming out July. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and give Monolith Soft the edge because we've already played Torn of the Golden Country and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And we've been waiting for the debut, the HD debut for Intelligent Systems on the Nintendo Switch, and we'll be getting that this July. So we already played 2 games from Monolith Soft, so we have to see what Intelligent Systems has for us. But I'm really excited once again to see what the next Legend of Zelda is going to be. I would guess, if I am going to guess based on this, once again speculation on this one, I would think that the next Legend of Zelda game would be like a 2020 title. I think that it'd be a 2020 title or 2021 title. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been done for a while, I guess. I think they probably could have released it back in 2015, 2016. If the Switch wasn't a thing and the Wii U was successful and everything, I think it would have came out earlier. But because the Wii U was a failure and they need to make sure that the Switch started off with a big title to really sell the system, I think that's the reason why it got pushed all the way to 2017. But I feel that they've been probably working on it for quite some time, or they've already started after the DLC. So we're looking at, you know, the end of 2017. So maybe we get a 2020 launch for this one here, or maybe we get like a 2021 launch for it. Maybe it's early 2021 or late 2021 launch for the next Legend of Zelda game. But either way, excited to see what they have for us. Monolith Soft has always been the GOAT when it comes to Nintendo open world or open-ended games, and nothing's going to change here. I think they're going to do a phenomenal job helping out with this next Legend of Zelda title. So what do you guys think about this news when it comes to Monolith Soft hiring development staff for the next Legend of Zelda game or the Legend of Zelda series? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we have something that I talked about actually a few months ago, and that was how Super Smash Bros. Ultimate would not take too long to become the best-selling Nintendo Switch game in Japan. And as of this moment, that has definitely happened here. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed Splatoon 2 to become the best-selling Nintendo Switch game. Now, from what I understand with these numbers and the media creates, is that it's only going to be physical sales, all right? So we don't have the digital sales from Nintendo in terms of things, but when it comes to physical sales and what's sold at retail, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the best-selling Switch game in Japan. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit more of this topic. So as of the week of March 18, 2019, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has overtaken Splatoon 2 to become the best-selling Nintendo Switch game of all time in Japan. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's lifetime sales are currently at 2,974,153 copies, while Splatoon 2 is behind at 2,970,723 units. So Super Smash Bros. Didn't take too long to surpass Splatoon 2, because you have to remember, Splatoon 2 is a game that came out back in June or July. I think it was July. Yeah, July of 2017. So it's been out for going on 2 years now at this point, where Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out at the beginning of December. So only just about 3 months or so into it, and Super Smash Bros. Has already overtaken it from a retail standpoint, which I felt that it would do. But I think that the reason why it's done that is because of the type of game that it is. There's just so much content in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think the name, the marketing, everything that they did leading up to the release of the game was just a perfect firestorm for it to be the best-selling game in Japan when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. However, while this is a nice victory for Super Smash Bros., and you guys know I'm a huge Smash fan, it's easily one of my favorite, or if not my favorite franchise from Nintendo, along with Fire Emblem and Xenoblade. I do think that it might be short-lived somewhat, because we've got some pretty big titles coming out in Japan and worldwide really this year for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Pokemon Sword and Shield, also Animal Crossing. I think both of those games have an opportunity to pass up Super Smash Bros. This year, depending on when they launch. Now, with Animal Crossing, we have to wait and see when it launches, and I think that game's going to be a slow burn, so I don't know if that one's going to pass it up this year, but I think for sure, Pokemon Sword and Shield, when that game drops, that could be 5 million in Japan the first week. There's going to be a lot of hype leading up to that game. There's going to be a ton of new information and stuff that they're going to share. They're going to market it, and this game's going to do very well based on what we've already seen with the boost in sales just off of the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield for the Switch. I can see this game doing extremely well, so well to the point to where it passes up Splatoon, and it also passes up Super Smash Bros. In the first week of sales. The first 3 days, I can see it doing 4 to 5 million units. Pokemon is that big. I think it has that type of power in Japan, but we'll have to wait and see when it comes to it. I'm guessing that Pokemon would be a November launch, so right there in the holiday season. But for now, I'm really happy that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the best-selling retail game on the Nintendo Switch in Japan, because I'm a huge Smash fan myself. So what do you guys think about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate passing up Splatoon 2 as the Switch's best-selling title in Japan? Let me know your thoughts about that, in addition to Monolith Soft and all the Zelda news in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace!